Yes, 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 everybody. Russ, the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well, my friends. It is Hammers Headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys. Check them out below for latest news, reviews, and opinions. Now, obviously, we did the Graham Potter press conference a little bit earlier on. Quite interesting. Go and check it out. My synopsis of that. But there's plenty to talk about. There's plenty of fat to chew off the bones. But today we're going to be talking about specifically a couple of players leaving and one player potentially joining. Let's start with the players leaving. Now, as I said, we've spoken about this several times in terms of the likelihood of players leaving and the rebuild rather than exodus, I'm going to call it, because myself and with my positive pat face, if you remember that, Ryan used to always had to do the positive pat. That's me, and that's very much how I see it, in all honesty. But that's just me. You have a different opinion, you are entitled to it. But according to reports, according to an article in the Czech Republic news outlet Idnes, it has stated that Thomas Soucek has reportedly warned Graham Potter that he'll be forced to leave London Stadium if he continues to be left on the bench. Obviously, he's found himself slipping down the pecking order a little bit, not to start off with under the Graham Potter era, but in the last sort of 3 or 4 games, really, since the last international break, he's very much seen himself slip down the pecking order and has been on the bench for the last few games. And according to a report from Czech outlet Idnes, he's had enough of it and he's threatening to leave. Although the report, which was highlighted in Claret and Hughes, stated that he hasn't had anyone mention the fact that he is that he's wanted to leave, and I take that as someone indicative of Thomas Soucek. I don't think. I think something might have been lost in translation there. We know it's an open secret that he's likely to be leaving in the summer. A couple of people are interested in him. We know that Everton, obviously with David Moyes, goes without saying. There's clearly a preferred player for David Moyes. Thomas being one of the first ones that came in when he first joined. We know that's on the table. We know there's also a salary increase around 30 grand on top of what he's currently earning at West Ham. We also know that Leeds are interested in him, and obviously Leeds has been promoted, looking for goal scorers as well, and looking for people who can make a difference. Again, apparently the offer from Leeds is almost identical to the offer to Everton. So up to him. So whether the validity of the report is questionable, and he wants. I think it's always been decided he's going to be let go, and West Ham are looking at moving him on. Not part of his long-term plans. Obviously, when Graham Potter did join, he did say how much he wanted Thomas Soucek at Brighton before he went to West Ham. And so, but the fact is Thomas is now 30 years old. We need to be looking at younger models to bring in to make a difference. And on that basis, could this be one person who could be potentially be brought in, and that is the Colombian international midfielder Richard Rios. Now, according to reports in UOL in Brazil, West Ham are in the picture to sign the Palmeiras midfielder in the summer transfer window. Now, he's someone that West Ham fans would be interested in, but also be aware of. We were linked with him as a Declan Rice replacement. And then we were linked to him in the summer of 2024 as well. And he remained at Palmeiras in the end. Now, according to reports, he's claiming that Potter wants to bring the Colombian international to the London Stadium this summer. Now, for me, I think Rios is one of those players who will make a massive difference if he came into West Ham. He's chink of what we're missing, I think, at West Ham in terms of that energy, that sort of dynamism midfield. It's very slow, it's very static. He is not one of those types of players. He's got raw power. He's got an incredible engine. He can dribble with the ball, tight ball control, which is fantastic as well. And I think he could make a real big difference. He's 6'2", so he's not slouch as well. So yeah, for me, I think he's someone who would make a huge difference, and someone who could really add some oomph into that midfield. That's what we need. We need some oomph. And with potentially Edson Alvarez leaving. And again, that's potential. That is if a bid comes in for him, which West Ham see if they match the valuation. I think we're not going to be forced to sell Edson, and I think even a two of Edson and Rios would be phenomenal as a two midfield. So Richard is 24 as well, so he's a good age, in terms of coming in. He's got all the physicality, I think, to really excel in the Premier League. But because of that will mean a number of other sides will be interested in him. So it's not going to be without his suitors. Obviously, West Ham have some relationship with Palmeiras, having spent 25 million with Luis Guilherme. There could be, I don't know, I'm just speculating, could be a deal with him going back maybe. I don't know. We know if a deal comes in for Louis, it's likely he'll be gone. So we'll see. One person who's 99% gone, according to reports, if you believe the reports, is Mohamed Kudus. Now, what is interesting about him is over the last sort of 24 hours, there's been a number of news reports which have stated that Al Nassr are back in for, or definitely in for the Ghanaian international during the summer break. And it's believed that an offer will be a Saudi Pro League record offer will go in for him, which according to reports is anywhere between 85.5 million and 100 million. So somewhere in that ballpark. We know there's a buyout clause for Saudi Pro League clubs of 120 million for Mohamed. We also know that for Premier League clubs it's 85, for non-Premier League and non-Saudi it's 80. So I think anywhere between 80. I don't think we'll get 100 million for him from the Saudi Pro League. I think 85 to 90 is somewhere we'll be looking to get him, and obviously that's a huge amount of money that we can reinvest for the likes of Richard Rios and players like that. So I think it was TalkSport, and I think someone else mentioned it today, and it's been all over social media. So I just wanted to play to nod my hat to it, because it looks like that will happen. And that's it, my friends. As I said, if you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share. Don't forget to check out the Graham Potter press conference we did earlier on today, and also don't forget to check out all the other great content we have. Tomorrow will start the build up for the Brighton game. Only 5 games left in the Premier League for West Ham now, so we get this season behind us, thank God. And if you aren't going to the Amex on Saturday, maybe think about going down to Rush Green and cheering on the under-21s. They're playing the Sunderland under-21s in the Premier League playoff last round of 16. That'll be at Rush Green, midday kickoff. £5 for adults, £1 for kids. I believe it's free if you bring your season ticket with you as well. And cheer on the boys. Obviously, a number of them would have played on Tuesday when the under-18s lifted the Premier League Cup as well. So yeah, good to see some of the boys in action. But until next time, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, and I'll see you soon. Much love. Bye.